Um, yeah, so I am going to be last time, well, the couple times that I've done the show, I've been telling you guys some personal stuff and sharing what's been going on in my life. And I'm excited to say and announce that I just dropped my first music video. So it's very exciting for me. It's a Valentine's Day themed music video based on one of my original songs called Reel Me Back In, which I wrote about toxic relationships, to be honest. It's, when you write a song, it's kind of a story, right? And then you get into the studio and you break it down and you put it to the melody, and sometimes all of that story that you wrote can't fit into a 3-minute song. So there's a lot that goes behind the scenes in regards to writing a song, first of all, and then doing a music video. But so I wanted to kind of share the experience with you guys in doing the music video. But before that, I think it's really important to share where this all comes from, right? Like, I didn't just wake up yesterday or 2 weeks ago and say, "Hey, I want to do a music video." No. Um, I think it's important to kind of share the backstory on me evolving as a person, first of all, and finding my voice and finding that voice that can write the song, right? So for me, it's been quite the journey. As you guys know, if you've been following my shows, I've been a realtor for a long time, selling real estate. I got my license right out of high school because I moved out of the house at 18. So I was trying to go to college full time and I was an assistant to a realtor at that time. I was trying to work full time, go to college full time, pay my rent, pay my bills, pay my car payment, all of that. And at some point, I just said I can't do both. I had to stop going to college. So I made a decision when I was, 18, 19 years old, that I was going to just go get my real estate license and see where that was going to take me, since I was already working for a realtor at that time. So, and we're going to get into the video and everything, but I'm giving you some backstory. So I struggled obviously in the beginning. I got my license. I didn't know where to start. I was just kind of, pounding the pavement and learning from mentors around me at the time. I was always the youngest one in my office. And so I was always put in like the middle desk or like the center area on purpose, because they all knew that I needed to like soak up their knowledge. So I was just trying to, figure it out. And so long story short, you guys, I ended up being very successful in real estate and mortgage. And I rode that success wave for a long time, many years. Um, just making really good money. I'll just be really frank and honest with you guys. Just the financial aspect of it was just amazing, where I was able to buy a home, eventually by the beach in Corona del Mar on my own as a single young girl. I was helping my mom financially. I was just living from the outer world. I was living a really good life. Um, and I was very grateful. I'm very grateful for that time. But, you know, in all transparency, I was very stressed out. I had a lot of weight on me at the time. I had about 15 pounds more weight on me. My skin was like breaking out a lot, because the stress level of keeping that level of success up took a lot. I was always on the road. I was eating out, coming home late, not sleeping that much. I did have a little dog at the time that I was caring for. So it was a lot. on the body. So in 2007, I knew that I had met my ex-husband now, but my soon-to-be husband at that time. We had met, and I knew we were going to be probably getting married. He was in the business as well, doing real estate. And I told him, I'm like, I don't think that I can keep this up um, for very much longer, you know? So when we got married, he said, just hang your license under my brokerage, and then you can kind of take a break. And then when you want to work, you can work under my brokerage. And when you want to, do something else, you can do something else. So I had a little bit more freedom. I'm a really good saver. So I had a lot of, backup money in the bank. And so I did that. And that kind of catapulted my creative journey, which leads me to here, to be honest. I started going to acting classes. I started to model again. I did some modeling as a teenager. I got re-signed with an agency at that time. And I was just really trying to find my passion again. So lo and behold, that same husband, my ex-husband now, he's a musician as well. And he used to sing and play guitar in our house. And I just remember feeling kind of left out almost, and a little bit like I would feel like jealousy. It was something inside of me thought like I should be doing that. I could be doing that. And, he has a very big ego, and he would say that about himself now. So I feel comfortable saying that. And but at the time, he was the star, and we would go and he would have gigs, and eventually he would let me get up on stage and sing some backup vocals. And honestly, I mean, I sucked. I didn't know what I was doing. I just knew that when I got up on the stage, there was something there for me. I just felt it in my body. And at this point of my journey, I had been already working, like doing some deep, deep inner work, right? So I was more aware of my intuition, my gut feelings, when my body was kind of talking to me and saying yes. And so I was listening. And I'll just say this, it's hard for women to listen to that gut feeling, because I had a lot of pushback from him. I had a lot of pushback saying, just making little remarks here and there, saying, like I remember him telling me, like, you act like you want to be Celine Dion, and and like just kind of putting me down and trying to put me in my place, I guess, And thank God, we had a group of musician people around us that, these other men musicians were really, really good, talented, would actually come up to me and encourage me and say, like, we really hear something in your voice. Don't give up. And I'm going to tell you guys, that was like all I needed. Like those little pieces of just encouragement was what I needed. And I trusted these other musicians because they were really talented, well known almost, So fast forward, I continue my healing journey, my inner work, working. So if you guys don't know when I say inner work, I've been doing what's called BEST for many, many years. It stands for Bioenergetic Synchronization Technique, which is a form of therapy, we can say. I write all about it in my book. But basically what it does is it clears interferences from childhood, from past experiences that no longer serve you, and it brings your subconscious mind to present time. So there are times like if you have traumatic experience in your childhood, that subconscious memory may still be running the show today. Okay. So a little parentheses on my inner work, when that's what I mean when I say inner work. So I continue to do that today. I've been doing it for years. And with that um, healing, I started to do some deep inner child work, inner child healing. And when I started to unravel that piece of me, I kid you not, this is not exaggerated at all. I was still married. I would wake up at 3 a.m. in the morning for months. And I literally, you guys, would get up because I couldn't sleep. I was wide awake, 3 to 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, somewhere around there. And I would write poetry. Like poetry would just be pouring out of my system. Like I didn't know where it was coming from. I just knew I had tapped into a more authentic and truthful part of my voice. And even my husband at the time would say, like, who are you? Like, where's this coming from? And I didn't know really. I just knew that I was healing a lot of my childhood wounds. And that was the only thing that I could relate it to. And I didn't even have the language at that point to explain it to him on a level that he could understand, because I was really just not understanding it too much. I just trusted my mentor at that time. And I knew that there were parts of me that were opening up. And this poetry writing was just another sign that I was just on the right path. So I say all this because it has really led me to today. And what ended up happening is I ended up, you know, leaving the marriage. It just honestly wasn't serving me or him anymore, I don't feel. There was tons of love there, and there still is. I think that we both will always care and love each other in some way, but it just wasn't growing anymore. There's something that just happened where, we hit a ceiling, and I was going this way and he was going this way. But the one thing that I will say that I'm thankful and grateful for, one of the things that I'm thankful and grateful for that relationship, is that it really showed me another level, another side of me that I needed to birth, that needed to come to fruition for my soulful journey, because music and songwriting and singing lights me up like no tomorrow. So what I did was I kept going on my singing journey. I have taken many vocal lessons. I'm still not the best, but it doesn't matter, because I love the way I feel when I'm around music, when I'm singing, when poetry is just flowing out of me. I feel like there's something that just kind of takes over, and I hear this voice, and I just, what I have, so back up. I'll tell you guys, I have, let's see, 4 original songs on Spotify and 1 cover that I learned. It's a Spanish song that I learned from my dad. It's called Sabor a mí, which means the taste of me. It's a very beautiful love song in Spanish that was my grandparents' love song to each other. So that's my 1 original song that's on Spotify. So I have 4 original songs and 1 cover. And yeah, so I just want to fix the camera a little bit really quick there. So my point is that what I'm trying to get at here is I just kept showing up for myself, right? So I knew that that lit me up a lot. I would get on stage. I would have little opportunities to sing backup vocals. Then it turned into having opportunities to do lead singing. And again, I was not perfect. I bombed a lot of times, but there was still something inside of me that knew that I wanted to be on stage. I wanted to find this other part of my voice. There was just, I don't know, I felt lit up. I felt vulnerable. I felt seen. I felt heard. And I felt like there was actually nowhere to run in those moments when I was on stage. So meaning like, you know how like we try to hide from ourselves sometimes, or we run to like a vice, like alcohol or eating or shopping or men or or women if you're a man, or like whatever the vice is. There was nowhere for me to run in those moments on stage. So I knew that all those elements were there, that there was just something in my gut, something in my heart that I needed to listen to. So I just kept showing up for myself. I kept taking vocal lessons. Obviously, I kept writing. And as an artist, as somebody that writes, I need to be inspired. So um, there was another relationship that entered my life, and I wrote a couple stories, I guess, that were inspired by this relationship. And one of the songs that now is my video, it's called Reel Me Back In, was inspired by this other relationship. And it's actually about a toxic relationship, which I've talked about on the show many times. But yeah, so let's see. We have questions. Yay. Thank you guys. Jesse, are you playing live shows? I did a live gig. Yeah, a live gig in September, this past year, where I sang this song, Reel Me Back In, and I sang the Savora Mi song, the Spanish song. I don't know. Thank you for asking. One of my girlfriends just called me yesterday and asked if I was available to do a gig. Um, I think it's coming up in the next couple of months. So if I'm available, then I will definitely say yes. But I don't have anything like solid lined up right now. Just that one call I got yesterday. So we'll see where that goes. So Paul asks, what types of things inspired you to write? Oh gosh. Okay. So mainly, Paul, I've been writing just about my relationships. I feel like that's been my kind of my work, like work meaning I've had to really hone in on, I guess, redefining uh, the kind of person that I need in my life romantically, because I wasn't shown really about a good relationship when I was a kid. And I've always picked the guy that I have had to caretake in a way. And thank God for my music and my art and my poetry and my writing songs, because I can express my feelings through my music. And so mainly what's inspired me up to this point are my romantic relationships. So thank you for that question. But yeah, I just want to encourage you guys to feel into what inspires you, what lights you up, because I could have easily listened to all of my ex-husband's kind of digs and, kind of shut myself down. And then, I had these shows back in the day where I'd bomb and it was hard, it was like, of course you go into like, what am I doing, kind of thing, and second guessing yourself and just asking yourself, just doubting yourself. But I think it's just about showing up for yourself and listening to your heart and your gut, and every day just showing up for yourself. And it doesn't have to be this type of showing up for yourself. Everyone's different. So I guess the question is, whoever's on the call or the show, is how do you guys show up for yourself? Like, showing up for yourself could be getting up and taking a shower and washing your hair and getting ready for the day, making a call that you need to make, eating healthy, going to the gym. So I just kind of want to throw that in there because, showing up for myself was doing this music video. But it also came with a lot of back, um, let's say, decisions, and going back and forth with the videographer. She really pushed my buttons at times. And, like, I'll tell you guys this story. So I decided to do so basically, okay, so let me tell you the story. Um, in September of this past 2024, I'm talking about relationships. I finally said no to the toxic relationships, okay? So over the holidays, to keep my spirit up, I started to record a cover song, Dream a Little Dream by the Mamas and the Papas. Um, and that was really fun. I had one of my friends come over, and we just started practicing the song. We recorded it, and I told him, I said, I really want to do a music video just for fun. And I thought, low budget, something fun, something easy. I'll just do a low budget video on this song, Dream a Little Dream. So he was like, yeah, encouragement, right? Encouraging me to do that. And so then I started to ask my musician friends, like, who do you guys know to do music videos? So I got a really good referral. And I talked to the videographer, and I knew she was really talented, and I wanted to work with her. And we kind of went back and forth with price. She kept changing the price on me. And then again, the little doubtful voice would come in, like, oh, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? Is this for me, kind of thing? Should I spend the money on a music video? All these little, voices that you hear. And so finally just said, okay, I'm doing this no matter what. I'm doing it. So we set the date for January something. I don't know. It was like mid to late January. And then I find out that to do a music video on a cover song, you have to pay for licensing. So not only was I paying for the videographer, now I found out that I would have to pay for extra licensing to do the cover song, the music video. So you don't have to pay extra licensing to put a cover song out, but you do have to pay extra licensing to put a music video based on a cover song out. So I was just like, oh my God, it's a no. It's like, I was like, no, I'm not doing that. It's done. Right. So I thought, okay, there's that idea. Just put it to rest. I almost felt like relieved, like, oh, okay, I don't have to do this. I'm not going to pay her. It was done. And then one of my mentors said to me, she's like, I feel like it's not about not doing the music video. It's more about you claiming your own voice and doing the music video based on one of your original songs. And I was like, oh no, like, I don't want to do it on my original song. Like, I don't know what I was thinking. Like, I felt maybe too vulnerable or something, but my heart was set on Dream a Little Dream. And I wanted to do a Valentine's Day theme, and I wanted to like roll it out for Valentine's Day. And I had all this vision in my head. And so lo and behold, I talked to the videographer again, and I told her we can't do the Dream a Little Dream. She's like, that's fine, Jenna. You can do your original song. We can still do a Valentine's Day theme. It'll be fine. Okay. So I said, okay. let's do it. Done. I'm set on it. And she's like, okay, I have a makeup and hair person. She's going to be this much. And I said, okay, let's do it. Pay more money. Got to get the makeup and hair. It was really fun, Kyle. It was super fun. You guys got to check it out. It's such a fun video. We did a Valentine's Day theme. It was just awesome. It ended up being awesome, but I'm telling you like the backstory. So the day of, she gets the makeup and hair person. The day before the video shoot, she texted me and said, "Oh, sorry, the makeup and hair person backed out of the video because I didn't want to go too dramatic on my makeup and hair. I wanted it to look like me." And she's like, "The makeup and hair person backed out because you don't want to do a dramatic look." I'm like, "Oh my God, really? Like the day before, you're going to tell me this?" And just because I wanna have some say in my own music video, like, it just didn't sit with me right, you know what I mean? So, I was like, "Oh my god," I panicked. I texted all of my makeup artist people that I know in the area. Thank God, one of my favorite makeup artists was available that that morning at 10 AM. So, it worked out, but it's just like, you guys, I mean, the videographer, bless her heart, I love her. She did an amazing, amazing job. She just gave me some really big stress right before the video. I mean, the other thing she texted me like the day before, which was for me to go get the USB cord um, from Best Buy, and I was like, wait a second, isn't that your job? Like, I'm paying you to do this. Like, I'm the talent. I'm the artist here, not to be a diva or anything, but I'm like trying to work, trying to, get my outfits all together. Now I have to go drive to get my makeup done. It was stressful. Lonnie, do you maintain creative control of your work? Yes, I do. Yeah, I do. Thank you. Yeah. Um, I distribute through DistroKid, which is a big distributor of music, and I have all of my original songs on DistroKid or distributed through them. And now my music video is distributed through DistroKid, and you guys can check it out on YouTube. It's on the Vivo channel YouTube. You can just Google my name, Jenna Lobos, and the song is called Reel Me Back In. Reel Me Back In. So anyways, you guys, this is just my life, yeah. So anyways, but the day of the shoot, it was good. I had all my outfits together. My makeup looked amazing. My hair, I ended up going to Dry Bar like the night before and just slept on my hair. It worked. The color theme was red and pink. So it was fun. We filled my bathtub with like tons of roses and did a whole candle, like tons of candles around it. That was one scene. And then we went to the beach for another scene, which I loved. And then we came back to my house and we turned my whole living room into like a full on like production scene, which where one scene I was like in like kind of like in this red fabric and I was like dancing in it because one of the lyrics in the song called I say that I ignore red flags in relationships. So the red was kind of like like talking about red flags. So we had like the red drapery around me. That was fun. And then the other scene where I was just like laying down and I was like in the middle of like all kinds of rose petals. So it was so much fun, you guys. I loved it. I love creative work. It's a lot. It takes a lot of energy. We started shooting at 1:00 and we didn't cut. It wasn't a wrap until 9:30 p.m. and we didn't eat until like 7. So you can imagine. I think I had like a bar or something on my way to the beach because I drove myself. I had like a half of a like an energy bar, and that was it. And then we didn't have like real dinner till like 7, and then we wrapped around 9:30. So yeah, it was good. It was a good day. I'm hoping that maybe I can. Yeah, thank you. Rebel put it up. Um, I can do another music video, maybe. I do have another cover song that I'm going to release, the Dream a Little Dream one that I never released. So that one's going to come out soon. Um, but yeah, so Benny asked, did the tub water? Yes, it did. It did. It did. It got cold. I put like my bathtub's really big, so it takes a long time to fill it. So we filled it like, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes prior to me getting in. It was just like, so I had to really put on my acting hat because it got cold. But thank God I've been taking cold showers or cold baths since December. If you guys want to check out one of the other shows I did, I talk about the cold baths that I was taking. So I think that it helped because my body was like kind of acclimated to cold. Um, but yeah, I did. It got cold. So Claire asked, what was the production cost of this video? Um, I think I want to answer that for you, Claire, but I think for privacy, I don't feel like I should answer that. I'm so sorry. Because if the videographer ever listens, I don't want her to think that I was, talking numbers with my audience. So I'm sorry. I feel like I need to keep that kind of private. But it wasn't like a cheap video. It didn't end up being low budget. I'll just say that. So, I kind of went all in on it. But we did most of the production from my house. And then the other piece of it was at the beach. So that was really helpful that I had the space to kind of um, turn my house into a music video. So it's something that I'll never forget, which is nice. I feel like, life is short, you guys. So continue to show up for yourself, continue to listen to your heart, listen to your gut, and don't let anybody talk you out of what you really want to do. I shared the backstory. I could have easily given up on myself. And obviously, music is just part of my brand. This podcast is a big part of my brand. My book, Love Your Body, Love Your Life, is a big part of my brand. I got certified as a life coach in 2019, and I am just now opening up one-on-one sessions for people to work with me as a life coach. So that's part of my brand. So Claire, understandable. Thank you. Would you say people need to plan ahead for a music video like people plan for a TV show production? Absolutely, 100%. Yeah. There's a lot that goes on. You cannot just wake up one day and do a music video. There's just no way, especially if you want it to be interesting and dynamic. And, I took pretty much all of January to, like, every week I was working on one thing, every week. My costumes, my look, the all of the back, like the scenery, all the props and stuff like that. So 100% you have to plan. Claire, do you like music? Is that what it is? Do you want to do a music video? I'm just curious. Because if you do, I highly encourage you to do one. It's exhilarating, especially like when you put it out. Like I wanted to put it out on February 14th. That was the goal. But then I went back and forth with editing because there was somebody else that I hired to do editing for me. So the videographer person did not do my editing. I actually took the USB-B production, all of the footage, and I gave it to somebody else. So he took a little bit. We went back and forth with storyline and what we really wanted to put out, because what you see in the music video is really just a blip of the whole day, because we filmed for so many hours. There was so much footage. Um, so we ended up launching the video on 2/16, which was the Sunday after Valentine's Day. And you guys, it was such a high, like, to finally, like, put it out in the world and to be well received is awesome feeling. Um, I've had over 300 views on the video since the 16th, which was, I think, last week. So it's been a really good, it's been received really well. So I'm happy about that. um, so anyways, you guys, I think I'm gonna wrap up. I think I've said everything I need to say. Thank you for listening to my music video story. Um, I think the underlining messages here for you guys and my audience is, again, I know I've been saying this the whole show, but just continue to show up for yourself. Listen to your body, listen to your gut feelings. Don't let anybody around you, especially, even your loved ones, deter you from what lights you up, what you want to do. And just keep doing it, and just keep taking little steps, every day. And just because you can't do something now doesn't mean you can't do something in the future. So I'll take one more question. Pen, what was your inspiration for the clothing choices in the video? Do you have a clothing line in view? Oh, thank you, Pen. Oh my gosh. I love this question because so the inspiration for the clothing choice was the Valentine's Day theme. So if you watch the video, it's all pink and red. And so I wanted to kind of really go with the pink and red theme. And the videographer that I've been talking about, she has a really good eye. So she helped me pick out costumes and dresses that would stand out in video, because it's not like normal, like, camera. You have to be kind of dramatic. So if you watch it, you'll see the costumes. They were very dramatic. But the inspiration was Valentine's Day. And you have a clothing line in view. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for this question, Pen, because, I talk about my brand, and I'm opening up one-on-one sessions for life coaching, primarily with women from ages 30 to 55. And I want to help people, or I want to help women find that inspiration, find that little voice, and find their own glow and their own spiritual and soulful path. And so I'm opening up that as part of my brand. But I've always said out loud, Pen, that I see a product in the future for me, and I don't know what that product is. So I have definitely, like, gone back and forth with that idea of a clothing line, especially going back to the beginning of this show when I talked about leaving the mortgage industry, and kind of taking a hiatus to see where my creative path was leading me to. I honestly tried to do a bikini line at that point. And I teamed up with a Russian woman, and then she ended up moving back to Russia. So that didn't happen. But I love the idea of a clothing line. I just don't know when and where and if that's going to be my product. But maybe, maybe shirts or t-shirts, or I don't know, tees to start. But that would be super fun to do that. And I appreciate your question. So Anyways, yeah. If you guys want to connect with me, you can email me at jennalobos8, the number 8 at gmail.com. I am taking one-on-one coaching clients now. Um, watch my video. I'd love to get an email and let me know any kind of feedback. Or you can actually just comment on the YouTube video online. And yeah, you guys, I think this solo situation is going to happen more often than not. I wasn't planning on that. I've always had guests on, but it's fun to connect with you guys one on one. I do have a couple people that I'd love to come on and talk about their what they do, so that might be in the works. Um, but yeah, until next time, you guys keep showing up for yourself. Show up for your soulful self. Listen to your inner voice. Listen to what lights you up, and yeah. Love your body and love your life. Take care. Bye.